Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar hosted by the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center. The topic is navigating the new marketing landscape, balancing traditional marketing strategies with more of digital. So it's a pretty robust 1 hour. We are going to be recording this webinar. You will receive that as a registry, and then also receive a copy of my PowerPoints with any notes that may be attached. My name is Lonnie Lott, and I am going to be your presenter as well as welcoming you to the Shasta-Cascade Small Business Development Center, or the SBDC as we call it. We provide confidential, no-cost advisory services and low to no-cost training services. Our services are confidential. We work with all facets of businesses, whether you're pre-venture, a startup, a seasoned business, and even those who want to buy or sell. We cover all topics, including business planning, marketing, human resources. We are here to help you with your for-profit business needs. We're a program of the Cal Poly Humboldt Foundation, as well as funded through the Small Business Administration, and then also the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. These are our major partners and provide funding, so we can then provide you technical assistance and training at no cost. This is a part of our team. Yes, we have a large team of servicing Shasta County, Trinity County, and Siskiyou County, as well as we have access to almost 40 additional subject matter experts throughout Northern California. So we have a very robust team of knowledgeable folks that are willing and wanting to help you with your business. These are some stats. You can look at those when you get the PowerPoint back, but it's kind of our bragging slide showing you that our impact between 2017 to 2022, that we did create a lot of jobs. We did see a lot of increase in annual sales. We helped our businesses with loans and equity investment of over 24 million. So we are very proud of that and continue to capture that economic impact numbers and continue to help our small businesses. This is our disclaimer. I do have to read it. Bear with me as I go through this, that the information provided in this webinar and any supplementary materials provided to registrants are intended for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute professional, financial, or legal advice. No registrant should act or fail to act on the basis of any materials contained in this webinar without obtaining proper financial, legal, or other professional advice specific to your certain situation. The Northern California Small Business Development Center and its host, the Cal Poly Humboldt Sponsored Programs Foundation and Siskiyou County Economic Council, specifically disclaims any liability, loss, or risk, personal and otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence, directly or indirectly, of the use and application of any of this information presented in this webinar. Okay, get that out of the way. This is me. I have my own women-owned business consulting practice. I've had it for over close to 23 years. And my areas are business advising. That's what I'm doing today. Community development. I do work in the nonprofit realm, and then also downtown and economic revitalization with a focus on historic preservation, traditional downtowns, historic downtown areas, and communities. So today, this is kind of our agenda. I'm going to be talking about traditional marketing approaches first. Sometimes we think in marketing world, everything has to be digital, but that is not true. Specific to your business, traditional marketing approaches may work very well for you. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the digital marketing tactics that are out there, whether it's a virtual storefront, your professional persona, your social engagement, local reach, and then we hopefully have some time for questions and feedback. So if you are in Shasta, Trinity, or Siskiyou County, we as Shasta-Cascade SBDC can assist you with your specific business needs. If you're in any other county outside of those three, across the nation, there is an SBDC near you that you can contact to then set up a one-on-one advising appointment with. And then we'll have more information at the end of the webinar with a link to the emails. In my presentation, I try to use examples from our communities that we are servicing. And so these are coming down from the internet, where I can find photos. I can link onto your Google My Business or business Google profile, or your social media platform, or your website, or your Yelp, your review sites. All of those areas are where I kind of do a lot of research and try to look at the community, the businesses that I'm working with and presenting in. So what you'll see here on the right is Trinity Nursery, and that is located up in Trinity County. And I'm kind of showcasing because they have a physical nursery, and then they also do a lot with their website. They have a robust Facebook page. They do some email marketing. So it's a real good balance of showing you that, it isn't just one approach, just traditional. It can also be digital. And I try to put the links there so you can go back and look at them after you get the PowerPoint presentation back. So when we start to think about our marketing, of course, your marketing plan or your marketing strategy is part of your business planning. And it is really about how do you reach your customers, your primary customers, to communicate with them, advertise, promote your products and services, and getting customers to come in your door or link on your website or purchase through your commerce or call you up for an appointment. So to then drive revenue to your business, right? So when you're thinking about your marketing and you're wanting to kind of look at, okay, should I look at some new traditional approaches? What am I doing with my digital side of my marketing strategy? You want to ask yourself some questions, because your marketing needs to be very specific to your business and your goals. What one business next door to you does may be very different than your business, just because of what stage you're in. If you're a pre-venture, you're probably just trying to get the brand awareness out there. Maybe you're in your 5th year of your business and you're needing to really reconnect with some of your secondary market. So you want to kind of look at some of these questions and ask yourself these. And you can just do this, when you're sitting down and having your morning cup of coffee, and you might just want to start thinking about your marketing for the last quarter of the year, because we are, as of Thursday, it will be September 1st, and we are moving into the last quarter of the year. I cannot believe that we're already thinking about the holidays. So how much do you know about your customers? You want to ask yourself some questions, because you want to align your marketing strategies to then get in front of those customers. How do your customers want to receive information? Are they online more than they are maybe wanting to get some physical pieces? Maybe they would rather get emails from you, your email blast. And have you identified your trade area? Where are your customers located? Are they basically local? Do you go reach out to more of a regional, and you're touching places like Red Bluff, and you're going up and maybe touching some of the border communities like Mount Shasta, and you keep going up the hill? Maybe you're even going over into the coastal area, Mendocino, Eureka. So where are they coming in to your place of business? Where is your trade area? And of your trade area, how many of them are your primary market, those most likely to buy from you on a regular basis or to do business with you? And then your secondary market. Maybe you are in a seasonal type of business and you see a little bump in the summer or in the winter months, where the fall and the spring are a little bit lighter, and you're depending on your local market. And then how much do you know about your competition? Where are they marketing? How are they getting the word out? What does their website look like? What do their email newsletter look like? So, knowing what your competition is doing can also help you kind of find your niche and find your position. And then what tactics are you using? We're not saying you need to just recreate all these new things. You want to think about, what are you already using? How effective is it? And then what type of tactics maybe I want to explore in this next quarter or for 2024 as you're looking into your next year marketing plan. So I want to start with branding, because I always get this question, well, what's the difference between branding and marketing? And I'm not going to go into a whole half an hour explanation of this, because that would use all of our precious time up. But there is a little reference there. There's a great blog by HubSpot.com. I use them quite often when I'm looking at what's current or some trends or some basics. They do a lot of 101 type of blogs, and they have a really great description of what's the difference between branding and marketing. And branding, in my opinion, is the outcome of all your marketing strategies, tactics. We usually think of branding when we're a startup business or in pre-venture. What's my logo? What's my name of my business? What's my colors? What's my font? How am I going to get those on my business card? What does my website, what are my colors going to look like? And that's the very beginning of branding, because your logo, your colors, your story is really your identity. And that is what we call branding, where marketing includes the tactics that we use to communicate with our customers and attract them to purchase our products or our services. So think about branding being everything we do, even our customer service, even how we respond to our social media requests, even what our online store looks like, even when we go out networking, and how we present ourselves and our business and we talk about our businesses. So brand awareness is one of the first things that we want to think about. And starts with your business cards. And this is an example of some leave behind collateral that I say is like the second thing you want to think about when we're talking about some traditional marketing approaches. You know, we all should have business cards. Always think about your business cards front and back. And our objective is to get rid of them, right? I was just doing last week some work on site, actually, physically, and I must have collected 50 business cards, you know, right now, what do I do with them all? But yeah, you want to get them, you want to use them for networking, you want to have them with you, you want to get, you know, continuously think about giving them as you're networking, providing them, exchanging email, business cards and all that. Kind of remember to make sure your URL is on there, your right email, and that the back you can use for bullets of your products and services or anything else you want to put on the back. Consider one quality leave behind piece. When I'm talking to a lot of businesses, especially in the sector of professional services, health and wellness, when you're trying to really connect with folks that are going to refer your business, maybe to their patients, to their customers, or you're going out on site and actually, like, let's say you're a roofer or you're doing plumbing and you're going to be going out there and you want to leave something behind, you want to think about a nice leave it behind, either a postcard or something that fits in a rack in a brochure rack card, and you want it to be quality. This is where I would say spend a little bit of money of having it professionally designed or printed, really quality color, and you want to use the front and the back. It's also, if you use like a 3.5 by 8.5, it's very easy to mail. You can pop it in with a welcome letter. You can give them to your, your sales staff or your folks that are out there in the, delivering the service, whether they're in a truck, and they can leave it behind. Sometimes we see leave it behinds like a lot of folks will leave a magnet behind if it's relevant. Like I have my carpet cleaner and my vet, my doggy's doctor, our vet. They have a magnet. It's up on my refrigerator or on my metal post, and it's really easy to see. So think about your brand as you also carry that visual through to your vehicle and to your shop, your customer merchandise, your packaging, your letterhead, your uniform, your name tags, all of those things that are visual touch points are really key. And all of that builds around and really strengthens your brand. So the traditional marketing approaches that are those physical touch points are part of building brand awareness. And then we look at advertising. This is all about print advertising. And of course, we can get into the social media or the digital advertising. This kind of crosses over both. But when you're thinking about advertising, that's where you're paying, actually investing some of your very hardcore budget dollars, right, on your marketing budget, that you want to kind of think through, is this going to reach my customer? Who is this going to? When I'm either thinking television or radio or print, what is that readership? What is that listen? Who's listening to that radio ad? And then you want to work with the advertising rep, because they will be able to give you a full-on snapshot description of the demographics that they are reaching with their print or their radio or their television. Most of these also then provide not so much radio, but print. Any print typically offers also digital opportunities, whether it's a banner, whether that's the magazine that you advertise in. You get the physical publication, and then they have an online version. And I'm using the example of Enjoy Magazine. This is in Shasta County. They service Shasta and surrounding counties, but they have a great place on their email, and drops down in the bottom. Usually you see at the bottom of any publication where they have the information about being an advertiser, and you look there. Now, advertising back in the day before we had digital was that, we had a rep come in, they helped design the ad, it went in the paper, and then we maybe had a call for action so we can track the return on our investment. With some digital pieces to print now, we can track it better. But you still want to think about that. Often trying to track whether we got that in front of our desired customer base, sometimes you need to ask them, how did you hear about us? Or you have a coupon, or show this ad, or a special URL that they link to, and then you can track the impact. There's also, in the arena of print advertising, there's also opportunities to then maybe get some free PR, whether you do a press release or you're an expert and they're doing an article and they need you to want to maybe quote or give some information. So we call that PR or public relations. And often in our advertising piece, you will get a little bit more focus on some maybe PR. Traditional marketing approaches, of course, good old-fashioned networking. Now, a lot of people are still networking digitally through their LinkedIn account or other meetups, any other way that you Zoom meetings. However, you want to think about networking as part of your memberships that you may want to join, whether it is a chamber of commerce, a trade association, an industry specific association, a national association, and leveraging that membership to the fullest that you can. You want to look at what are the benefits, how do I leverage them, what are the resources I'm going to receive from that, and then you need to actively participate. If you're going to join an association and it's going to be an annual subscription of a couple $100, $50, Weaverville Chamber, I think, is $60 now for the year. And there's lots of different things. Some are more tangible than other benefits, but if you get a free listing in their directory, make sure that all the links work. If they offer a networking breakfast or a business expo and they give you a discount, many times a lot of our associations and chambers will have a member directory, a physical piece, or maybe you're maybe you're in the hospitality sector and you're going to go in the visitor guide. Then you want to make sure that you know what those benefits are and you fully leverage them. Again, business networking, take your business cards with you. Don't be afraid to follow up when you exchange cards. Maybe you're going to actually have a booth at one of the events and you're going to get a bunch of business cards. You're going to talk to folks. And then, of course, the rest of the story is you following up with a call, an email, a letter, and you want to start to cultivate that lead. And then again, networking is public relations opportunities, whether you're a panelist at a conference or a speaker or even going to be a speaker on a podcast. Maybe you have your own podcast, interviews, especially in our smaller rural communities. We are often called upon for, again, being an expert in our industry. Many of our publications, going back to advertising, will do special quarterly ads. Like in the fall, it could be all about the holidays. In the first quarter, it could be all about getting in shape. We see a lot of health and wellness in the first quarter of the year or the first 2 months because that's typically their peak season, and people are wanting to, those New Year's resolutions and getting back in shape. So you might want to look for some publications that are very specific to your sector. This is just a little photo of the Weaverville Chamber of Commerce. They do an annual membership event where they just really bring everybody together, and then they showcase, what they've done for the year. People get to kind of meet and greet. They always have it at one of the places in Trinity County, and then of course they have information on their website for becoming a member. Events, very traditional marketing approach. A lot of our events are back in person. There may be still opportunities to attend an event virtually, but you want to think about the events that may be happening in your trade area or in your local regional area or through your association that you belong to. Whether you're actually going to vend there, actually be a vendor, set up a booth for either collecting leads, actually selling products. Many of our businesses start out testing their products or actually even having it as a way that they drive revenue to their business if you're product based. And it's a lot of work. I'm not going to say that you should just go out and sign up to do an event. Again, you've got to put your booth together, your table, you've got to get your products or your brochures or your marketing collateral, then you got to stand there. So you have to kind of think it through, but there are ways to also leverage event either through a sponsorship. Again, what are the benefits in the sponsorship? Where is your name going to be printed? And most event coordinators have various levels, from as simple as just, contributing something for their raffle to as detailed to being the title sponsor, opportunity to build your brand awareness, often attending an event just to kind of check out the competition. If you're in the home improvement sector or the building trade, you may want to go to one of the home and garden events and just walk around and check out how your competition or who are some of the partners that you might want to, or other businesses that you could then conduct business to business and check it out. Again, great way to test products, conduct research, gather feedback, build your email list, really key. And I'm going to get into email list in a second, because that's one of the digital side of marketing, but one of a very important one, and one that you continuously want to think about getting to the point where you're going to do regular email blasts, but you got to have the email. So a lot of people use events to collect emails, whether it's business cards or a sign up. And then this is a brochure of the Trinity County Fair up in Trinity County. They're going to do a harvest festival, and they're looking for, they're going to have vendors and live music and food trucks. So maybe this would be something that might be appropriate for your business to either sponsor or attend, and or vend at. So putting together all of that type of traditional marketing and then talking about how it all works together with your brand. This is an example of a roofing company that is not located in Trinity or Shasta County, but I just kind of wanted to show it, and that they have a storefront, they have signage on their storefront, they have little brochures in the rack card there, they have branding on their shirts for their roofers, they have it on their trucks, they have a billboard down there in the corner on the right is a billboard, up here they sponsor baseball. So, all of this is putting it all together. The end result is really getting your name out in the marketplace, driving revenue, reaching your customers to then make the decision to do business with you. In the marketing world, when we ask customers, well, how did you hear about us? It's usually 7 impressions, and they'll usually remember the last one or the one that had most impact for them. They may have seen your website, they may have got a referral from a friend, maybe they were at an event and they saw your booth, maybe they drove by your shop, but whatever it is, when they're ready to make a decision, your name is going to pop in because you have this kind of continuous branding, name recognition, kind of the same colors, the same font, the same kind of customer service, and bam, then they call you, right? So now let's switch to our digital world, which prior to the pandemic, a lot of us, we're in the digital world. A lot of us had websites. A lot of us were already on social media. Maybe you were already conducting networking through your LinkedIn. But it really became obvious after 2020 how important having your digital marketing footprint out there is, and how consistent you are with it, and how you're also tying it into your traditional approaches, whether that's a storefront, whether that's a mobile, whether that is in your physical advertising. So the first one that is really, really key, and I do recommend everyone move towards trying to have a very professional website. Now, I have people tell me, well, I don't really want to do a website yet, but I have, I have my Google My Business profile, and I also have my, Instagram. Well, those are great. Those are really great to have, and you're going to need them, but you drive the information and you own your URL. And you build your website to how you want to communicate with your customers. It is your real estate, as I call it. And you really want to think of your website as your virtual shop, storefront, office, even just your presence. Like for me, being a consultant, I work all over the state of California and a lot in Arizona. I don't have an office. So what is my visual, well, today you're seeing it, my actual visual desk, but my office or my brand is my website. So your website is very key. And you want to have that you want to all touch points of whether you're in your traditional marketing tactics or your digital, you want to kind of lead everyone to get to your website to then learn more about your business. These days, if you don't have a website, it's almost questionable in the consumer's mind whether you're really a legitimate business. I mean, it's getting to that point where we can go and we can read about your business, we can learn about your products and services, we can have questions answered before we actually either email or pick up the phone, goodness sakes, and want to talk more about buying your product or dropping your products into the shopping cart digitally, or just getting in your car and driving down to see you physically at your office or your storefront. So very key. Want to think about making it easily navigated site, a secure hosting platform. first step in a website is just secure your domain name. Get your domain name, whether it's a .com, .org, .net, whatever you can. Make it so it's not hard to remember or, really, really long. It's very similar to the name of your business. If you are Smith Hardware, that's probably already taken. So you may have to do a little like configurating. Like for me, L.L. Consulting was taken. So I had to do L-L Consulting, which is fine. Some people, if I don't, it can be a capital L or a small L. And some people think those are ones. So I have to be careful about how I actually present it, in the digital and the traditional world. But have an obvious call for action. It's professional. All of your social media icons are listed. Many, many times people forget to list them, or the link doesn't work, or it goes to some strange link that then it doesn't make sense for the consumer. You got one chance, folks. When they go to the website and they want a link on your Facebook or your Instagram or your TikTok or your LinkedIn or your Twitter or your X, I guess it's called now, and it doesn't go there, you've lost it. You've lost the opportunity. We're really very impatient consumers. If you are really catering to the younger generation or millennials, we are like, oh my gosh, that doesn't work. And I'm just going to go on and I'm not going to search around and try to figure it out. So when you're putting your website together, there's lots of different opportunities out there for different programs, whether it's Squarespace, whether it's Wix, GoDaddy has some opportunities, WordPress, Wix. So there's lots of different ones. So how we can help you as advisors or your advisors is that we don't do your website for you. We advise. So we talk you through, what do you want your website to look, be? What are your storyboards? What do you want your homepage to be? What research have you done already and looked at other websites in your industry and what you like and what you don't like? And then you get ready to design it, right? A lot of those programs you can design yourself. They take time. You have to have the content. Nobody's going to write the content for you. You have to have the content. You could use Chatbox and get some content written up for yourself, for your business, but you really have to make sure that it describes who you are, tells your story, helps inform your customers, and leads them to a place where they can then take action to either sign up and schedule an appointment, purchase a product, reach out to you with an email, whatever that call of action is. This is a past client. She's got a beautiful website. She is an artist. She is also at in a storefront, Gather downtown in Reading, and just simple website. And she actually sells through her website too. Has an email, has a commerce piece to it. So I just really like to use it. She is the artist. So it was important for her homepage to have a picture of her. Most artists want to show either working in the medium or a picture with your story and how you got involved, because really when you're in the creative sector, linking the end product, your products or your services to you, the artist, is key. Email marketing, talked about that already a little bit. Gathering those email addresses, the very first thing. So as you gather those email addresses, you're going to think about, how do I re-email back to them? Whether I email right away once I get one and say, hey, thank you, just through your regular email, your Gmail or whatever emails, if you're running it through your company. Thank you for stopping by. Hope everything worked out well with your products that you purchased. Or how did it go with the services? Did you have any questions? Nobody does that anymore. I mean, it's like they just, assume everything is fine. So sometimes when you send an email back, it's like that extra customer service. As you get more sophisticated in your email marketing, you may want to then start to segment your list. Maybe you're vending at different festivals or different events across Northern California or Southern California or across the nation. And you want to say, okay, these were folks that I met up in Idaho when I was at that big arts and craft event. And these were folks that were down in Southern California, so that you can announce when you're coming back. Or you can push them to your e-commerce site and say, don't forget, we also ship if you want to think about something for the holidays. I always use this example. You may have heard me say this before. I shop across when I'm out in the field, working in all these wonderful little communities physically. Not so much, it's starting to come back, but prior to 2020, I was in a lot of great communities, and I was really, walking the streets and looking at their shops. And I would leave my email, they asked me. I maybe one time got something back from them. Now I'm seeing, after the pandemic, I'm seeing more of those places where my email was starting to put together an email blast, whether it's quarterly, whether it's monthly. You don't have to do it twice a day like Old Navy or some of the big chains do, because they have all the money. But you want to kind of start to think about a strategy. For organizations, getting those emails is key. And then you can send out a quarterly about what events you're hosting, or your fundraising activities, or spotlighting a new program, or your members. All of that comes back into your email marketing strategy. Please do never say, well, I don't like my emails coming in my mailbox, so I don't want to do that with my customers. You don't want to make that decision for them. When you ask them if to sign up for an email, or it pops up on your website and they can opt in, they're choosing to want to get an email, something from you. If you use like one of the subscription programs, like either through your website or through like MailChimp or Constant Contact, all of the legal language is included, so people can unscribe. So don't make that decision. Just think about what your strategy might be if you're going to venture into some email marketing campaigns. This is one that I received from Heritage Coffee House in Reading. And I love that they have new hours at Heritage, and we're hiring. Everybody's hiring. So you're going to get some maybe that are a job opportunity, but then they're going to also remind you about their hours, their menu. Maybe they're going to be doing some music on the weekends. Maybe they're going to have a holiday promotion where they're going to ask customers to come in before they open it up to the regular public. So all of those come back through your email marketing campaigns. Okay, so social media platforms. I learned this the other day. There's 128 legitimate social media platforms out there. And I'm not talking apps. I'm talking social media platforms. So there's a lot to choose from. Whichever two you're using, I recommend you use at least 2 platforms, and you do them really well. Make sure they're aligned with your customer. Not so much what you like. Because you really want to think about your social media platforms. They're all about engagement, sharing, liking, commenting. It's not about numbers. You could have 500 followers, but if you're not having a lot of engagement, either your content isn't resonating with your followers, or you have the wrong followers, and you need to build and focus on who really is your ideal customer. Or we call it in the world of marketing, your social media avatar. Who's your marketing avatar? Not you avatar, your customer. What's their age? What's their demographics? What is their hobby? And then what is the problem that your business solves for them? Do you entertain? Do you make their life easier by your products? What is it that the problem that you solve for your customers? Because that's what you want to promote and market to. We called it in the past benefits, right? So your features are, you have this great, you provide hair products, but the benefit is that it makes your hair fuller, and it's all biodegradable, and it comes in, it's no animal testing, and your hair will feel just beautiful. You will feel confident, and give us a try. Okay. This is like, I do a whole webinar on this, just talking about how to really create your avatar, how to create your content, and so it resonates with them, and then hashtags. And in short, hashtags are those searchable number signs, right, that people actually search to find out about different topics or places they want to visit, or free trainings, or like you could hashtag clothing for your age maybe, or clothing for a Caribbean cruise, and there'll be hashtags there, and businesses hashtag. So you want to use hashtags across all of your social media platforms, all of them, except your personal Facebook page, or excuse me, Facebook profile, not on your personal site, on your business side, the public facing side. And this tip, it just made so much sense to me when I heard it. Think about the 9 hashtag rule. 3 hashtags of who you are. I would do hashtag consultant, hashtag small business advisor, hashtag economic development specialist. 3 hashtags of who you are, your business, what your business does. And then hashtag, who you are trying to reach in your hashtags. And then 3 hashtags of what problem you're solving, or a service, or a promotion. So 3 hashtags of who you are, 3 hashtags of who you're trying to reach, and then 3 hashtags of what that post is about. Now, this is Turncoats Goods. They're up in Weaverville. They only do Instagram. They're only open on Saturdays, and they're all this vintage clothing, vintage products. And they really theme around the season, around the event, around their products. And they have great hashtags. So I'm just leaving that as an example for you to look at. Okay, so you want to then think about in your digital, your local search marketing. That would be your Google business profile. You want to make sure that you're on the search platforms. Of course, Google is powerful, the #1 SEO. So you want to make sure that you've got that built out, that site. Bing Places for Business has them. Yahoo, Help, TripAdvisor, those specific ones that maybe are more, for product-based businesses or restaurants or in the hospitality sector. There may be apps that are specific and listings that are specific for your industry. You also want to be listed on them. But when people are coming to your community, or they're even in your community, they're Googling, they're searching, they're Bing and searching. So, because if you're not on that list, you may lose an opportunity. And it gives you another ability to link your website, add photos, all your social media platforms, your phone number, your hours. And there's some steps, and it takes a bit, but it's not that hard. You can always come in, and the advisors can help you, or you can get your younger daughter or your younger son to help you. They're all seem to be really like whizzes at this. But you want to kind of think about making sure you provide your accurate name, address, phone number, and URL in all of that order as the first thing that you do, because that NAPU helps you then get up into the search engine optimization so that your name pops up #1. A good exercise is just to search your name, because you may want to, somebody may have already claimed the business. Maybe you claimed it way back, you didn't realize it. So search your business name and see where you're at in the search listings. See what already your name pops up. Your review sites are about your online reputation, as well as your, reputation in general as a business. Again, a lot of folks look at reviews. I'm just going to take a drink of my soda here. I have a 27-year-old, does nothing but look at reviews before she makes a decision. Not so much me. maybe I'll look at a review for a carpet cleaner or something like that. But a lot of the newer customers coming in, the millennials, the Gen Z, even baby boomers, especially if you're moving to a new area, you're going to look at reviews. You're going to want to see, who you may want to read the reviews. How many stars did they get on Google? How many stars did you get on Yelp? How many recommendations did you get on your LinkedIn site? And then it's also great content. You may want to pull some of those testimonials down and use them on your website. You may want to feed it through your social media platforms, however you're going to use those reviews. And then you want to respond to all reviews. You want to thank them, appreciate them. Maybe you want to even send them a personal email with a coupon or a click, say, hey, or send them a coffee card to a local coffee company for referring other people. However you're going to use those referrals. If you get a referral that's not positive, because there's those people out there, and some people are just hard to please. Doesn't matter how many times you turn yourself inside out, you're going to get maybe somebody who just popped in at 6 o'clock and wanted to be in your, wanted to come to your shop and you weren't there. So take it offline, respond to them, and then, try to, you can hide the review, or maybe you can just leave it there, it'll get buried down. But you want to respond to those that are really just aren't happy. So anyways, you want to look at your reviews. I really like this painting company. They've claimed their Yelp. They have it, a really very clean site. They're using all of the features that you can possibly get. And this looks really great. Their website looks really great. This is in Lincoln, California, not here in one of the counties that we service through the Shasta-Cascade Siskiyou SBDC. But again, my daughter, she will often do live interviews. She has some bigger marketing budget, and so she will actually get her marketing team to come in, actually do, like they were just sponsored the local fair, and the fair management, they did a big fair sponsorship. The fair management agreed. They came and did this like personal little interview with the fair management, and then she plugged her business, right? So giving some recognition to their fair that she sponsored, and then giving again something back about her business. And then that goes out on her social media, goes out on her website, it goes to her Instagram, and she uses it across all of her marketing tactics. I'm going to talk a little bit about online marketing, your online commerce. If you have a product and you're wanting to, get that out into the marketplace via your digital, it is like, if you're a product-based business, you just have to go here. You eventually need to be selling your products digitally online, whether you're going to do it through your own website, you're going to do it through some online marketplaces as Amazon or eBay or Etsy, or some of the others that maybe are specific to your industry. You're going to maybe want to think about, if you're going to host an actual e-commerce site, some of the subscriptions that are out there. I see a lot of businesses when I'm at the farmers market are using, for artistic and cottage foods, are using Squarespace, where more of those who have larger inventory are using Spotify subscriptions. Social commerce. Now, social platforms are really trying to get their share of the e-commerce sites. So with that said, Facebook pages, they launched the ability right after 2020 happened for businesses to easily get up and use either folks that can shop right directly from the app, or you could link your website to Facebook to promote, and then they could link on it. They wanted to buy it and would go to your e-commerce site on your website. As of today, if you start a shop on Facebook, they're no longer going to link to an outside website with e-commerce, an e-commerce site. It has to be like delivered through the app. If you started your e-commerce site and you're using the shop feature on Facebook pages, they're going to give you to the middle of 2024, and then they're going to stop linking it back to your website. So these are some changes. Instagram still links to your websites, Pinterest, some of those other social media platforms do, but Facebook is making some changes. So you're always wanting to kind of follow your e-commerce sites, your third-party sites, see what's different, see what's are they upping some of the fees? Are they changing some of the subscription amounts? And just making sure you stay abreast of them. And then other methods, you could call, direct messages. I see that a lot. If you see this product, direct messages, we'll ship it right out. Submit your form. For product-based, these are all product-based. If you have services, there are apps and programs that interface with a lot of the social media platforms for like Mind and Body, which is one of the ones that a lot of health and wellness industry sector uses it for, reserving a spot at the yoga class and then paying online, and it'll interface with your website, interface with some of the social media platforms because they're partners with those apps. And then you can sell locally, whether that's through OfferUp, Craigslist, Nextdoor, Facebook Marketplace. These are ones that there is not commerce exchange. You actually have to arrange to meet the person interested in purchasing the product. But a lot of businesses will use these type of programs. This is Gather Downtown, and again, they offer through their website to link their vendors to an online opportunity. So again, like Etsy, only this is a local one, and it's through Gather Downtown. So you can have the option to have a little booth, or you can just have online. And then they push out a lot of advertising as well as you push it out. You link it on your website, it goes over to Gather Downtown, and then they can purchase, your customers can purchase. So taking a deep breath, because I am rolling into the last 5 minutes. And so then when we're looking at just the tip of the iceberg and what's available out there digitally and traditionally, what does this really mean? You kind of want to think about your marketing strategy. Maybe you're going to do it for the fourth quarter. You're just going to really kind of fine tune and really drive revenue during this fourth quarter because it's your quarter. Or you're going to think about updating your marketing strategy for next year. So establish your goals. What are those high-level goals that you really want to establish in your business over the next quarter or for the next year? Identify who your target customer groups are. Who is your primary market? Who's your secondary market? How do they align with your goals? Inventory your current promotional tactics. And if you have been tracking quarterly, monthly, maybe not even ever, but now you're going to, how are they performing for you? Social media platforms, a lot of the digital world give you a snapshot of the analytics, where the traditional approaches are a little harder. Could be that after you went to that event, you saw a bump in your sales. Maybe that was something that, or you gathered a lot of emails, you got a lot of leads, which then fed into new business down the road. So you have to kind of think about the impact that your marketing had. And then draft your 18-month marketing action plan. What events do you want to participate? What memberships do you want to leverage? What do you want to do with your social media platforms and really build out some engagement? Maybe you're going to launch a new email. Maybe you've got a marketing campaign. Maybe you want to update your website. All of those then wrap into what is your 18-month marketing action plan. And with that said, I think I am completed the webinar in an hour. So do we have any questions, Emily?
Okay, well, looks like we have someone raising their hand. So yeah, Bria, if you want to unmute. Hi, Lonnie. Thank you
Hi.
for the presentation. I just have a quick question regarding the Google My Business. So, what do you suggest for companies that are just like strictly e-commerce at the moment? And say, for example, their inventory, like they're doing their inventory and everything at home,
Hmm.
um, and they don't want their personal address on the Google My Business. Is like, do we have to um, put our address on our Google My Business section, or is that something that's not necessary?
Have a physical address. They used to require it. I have not looked into that. Have you looked into Google Business Profile through Google and see what their new requirements are?
Not
Um,
at the moment, but I guess I'll look into it afterwards.
Yeah, I knew you could not have a PO box, but I think that if you went to a place that was like a UPS store that had mailboxes there, but they had a street address at some business like that. I did that for my business when I first moved to Arizona and opened up my Arizona offices. I didn't want them coming to my house, right? But I wanted a professional street address. So that's how I did that. That might be a way to look at that. Now, Google may allow not having street addresses. You do need to have something, some way that they reconfirm that it's you, that you claim your business, Google Business Profile. So I would go onto your Gmail and then go into that little place where it's the little house that looks like a business, and that's where Google Business Profile. And then there's some steps to go through.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Um, so did you want to say anything, Emily, about the survey?
Yeah, so I'm going to put in the chat here a survey. So if you could go ahead and click on that, and then you can finish it after we wrap up here. But that's really helpful to let us know how we did today, how we can improve, if there are, any topics that you're interested in us teaching. So that's, yeah, so like I said, the information is really helpful. And then you can also, reach out to us if you have specific questions, or, how to get in contact with your local office. I'll go ahead and put that information in the chat as well. But again, we're happy to help if you have questions. And yeah, there's our social media channels. And yeah.
Hey, yeah, and they have a great email that comes out once a month or twice a month, just depending on what is going on. So I would encourage you to sign up for the Shasta-Cascade SBDC if you're in our territory. If not, look for one that's in your county. But I know the one that's for our territory, Emily does, and she does a great job. It's like upcoming webinars, any kind of, maybe if there's any new funding opportunities out there, showcasing some of our advisors. And then a lot of our webinars sit on our YouTube channel. So you can Google that and find them. And they cover all subjects from a lot of our webinars. So again, thank you all for coming today, and enjoy the last week of August 2023. I just can't even believe that we're getting into September. I was already thinking about some holiday shopping. Like swallow. I don't even know if I had recovered from last year yet. Anyways, so have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everyone.